I remember as a 14-year-old holding the movie, an 8mm camera it was, up to my eye and moving it and looking and feeling this great intense sense of sort of excitement. It was the start of a love affair, you know, with the medium, and I'd already loved painting, drawing and poetry. I'd written plays and made little plays when I was at school and stuff like that. But I think I felt that within this frame, this magical sort of frame, was the whole world, you know, everything. It's turned out that so far in my life I've written everything that I've made. I didn't necessarily set out at the beginning thinking I'm going to be a writer stroke director, but it's turned out that way. Now I find that that process of going from sort of nothing, you know, where I really don't know what I'm going to do and where it's going to come from, and then something arrives, some idea arrives, and then it grows bit by bit, step by step, step by step, and then eventually suddenly you're in a cinema and there's loads of people looking at it and it all exists. And that sort of arc from nothing to a film is, I think, what's very exciting about it. When I'm writing, I'm alone, so it's solitude for months and months and months. And that creates the script that then becomes the foundation of everything, the basic architecture of it all. But then it starts getting very social because, you know, the heads of department come on board. I start working with the DP, I can work with the designer, I'm casting, and one by one the actors come on board, and then collaboration is everything. It's what you create together based on this world that I've created as a writer. But that then becomes like a skin to be shed in a way as it all manifests and starts to get real. What I do feel all the time at the end of making each film is, now I know how to make that film. If I went back to the beginning, how much better I might make it, or how much more directly I go to like what's important. However, of course, there are certain things that experience offers up. And in the world of filmmaking, I think it's partly about the absolutely crucial business of building relationships with people, learning how to really connect with the people you're working with on both sides of the camera, so that they come into this world that you've instructed and they begin to embody it and flesh it out, and the work becomes visible through their work. So they need to want to give everything they've got, and to do that you have to give everything you've got to them. So it's a combination of humanity, kindness, relationships, and ruthlessness to the vision, because as the director you're the only one who has responsibility for the totality and the responsibility for the final result, and you're the only one that knows what you're trying to do. Everyone else knows a part of it, sometimes large parts of it, but not the totality. Well, I happen to be really interested in political comedy at the moment, as that's what I've just done. Lucky for us in cinema, we have an immense number of heroes and heroines of cinema that we can continuously learn from. The people that popped into my mind was the Marx Brothers. I think they're good professors. If you look at Duck Soup, for example, it's probably one of the great anti-war films. It's, you know, deeply serious at the core of it, and it's a laugh a minute, and it completely takes the piss out of dictators, out of government itself, actually. They learnt their craft live, but they then applied it and turned their world of cinema into this playground of jokes about the really big subjects, in that instance, about war. Don't give up, even in your darkest hours, of which there will be many. I think people often come up to me and say, it must be fun being a filmmaker, when they find I'm a filmmaker. I go, fun? Yes, from time to time. You know, fun is the bonus. If you have a great time while you're shooting or working on a film, great. But that's not what you're doing it for. You're doing it because you're searching for something. And that's not always fun. Sometimes it's very painful. Starting out, people are confused by that painfulness. They think, is there something wrong with them that it's so difficult? You know, or does it mean they're not good enough? Or does it mean that they've got a mental health issue because they're, you know, crying at the end of a working day? I was like, no, this is normal. That's because you're going beyond your limits. You're pushing yourself into places that are hard to go, and that's how you get strong, and how you learn what you want to do, and how you then, through being vulnerable in that way, how you make something that other people are going to empathise with and feel that their true nature is expressed in, and not some phony exterior thing.